Machu
Anyone
Picchu.
ever been?
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard of that,
South
but
America is in Peru.
Peru.
Peru, in the south of South
They are
America.
not the seven first of UNESCO recommendation.
7 wonders, yeah. I go in the summer, but I could only go in the summer because we have, as a school teacher, we have summer holidays, right? June, July usually off, so that was the only time I could go. So I took
How long did it take you?
it took me 28 days of cycling, active cycling,
Wow.
and 4 weeks in total. So about 10 days of rest, 40 days in total. About 10 to 12 days of rest and 3 weeks of cycling. Yeah. So this is in Long Kang. Anyone know Long Kang?
Yes.
Yeah.
The, kind of close to the Lat. Yeah, so I cycled from the Chang to the Lat, up the mountain. That was the hardest. There's my bike. I had a flat tire. I had a flat tire, so I had to solve it. And this is my bike in Wei, on a boat. Thank you. This is in Samsung. Thank you.
Why in the picture you look more prettier than
Prettier or more handsome? Prettier is for a girl, just because I'm not a girl. So that's why I don't look pretty. Right? And maybe I look more handsome.
How
Pretty.
humorous she is.
I mean,
Like,
okay. Means a moon, right?
like
Okay, so what you can do? Okay, so you can do multiple choice. So for example, I could have done like the 2 truths and a lie. Which sentence is a lie? And then option A, like a bike riding. Option 2, flying a plane. Option 3, traveling. That's right, travel. And then option D, I can believe. And then, yeah, and then you can start voting. So I put that there, bring that here, and then if you, as you answer, A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you add 6 there, and then only 3 there. And then you can show the answer afterwards. This is easier to see. You can do, so you can use it with your students if you want to play a game or a song or something, listen to a song. You can ask the class to vote, and then you have the information very clearly for them to see. Okay. I also use it to record the scores of my students. So when they do a test, like a mini test, spelling test for example, you have 10 words. You do a spelling test and you ask them to swap to tick and cross, right? To see how many points they got. Okay, they cannot cheat because the person next to them will mark, they will score, they will grade. And then you ask the class, what did you get? And if you got like 5 out of 10, I'd be 1 for 5 out of 10. If you got like 10 out of 10, then I click 1 for 10 out of 10, etc. Then you can see, you can take a quick picture, and then you can see which students in your class are not doing very good with this spelling test. You can see which ones are doing very good. Yeah. So it's a quicker way. It saves you time from going home and then checking all the spelling. You do it with your students. Also gives your students more responsibility, right? And it shows they can look up. They can see, oh my God, I have 3 minutes. Okay, I better start working, stop talking, or anything like that. And if you want to give them more time, you just add a little bit more time. You have the clock here too, so they can see the time. You can make it big if you know your class need to see the time. I told you when I watched it quite a long time ago. So I should also tell you what it's about. Okay. Remember, the examiner might not know what the movie is about, so you can say things like, "It's a romantic film." That's my favorite kind of film. In the future, or you could say, I don't get much time to watch movies because of my work. I'm often too busy to watch movies in my free time. But in the future, if I get more time, I would like to watch it again.
Okay.
and then that's all you really need to say. Yeah, you just try and think of answering a few of these points. You don't think to answer everything. It then doesn't become as natural. Okay? I think you have to remember about the IELTS test. They're looking for kind of more natural conversation, how you would talk with your friends and family. Okay, so that using those idiomatic expressions and just talking a bit more naturally. Okay, so when if you might say you're very busy with work at the moment, express that in your voice. Oh, I really love this movie. I want to see it again, but I'm so busy at the moment. I have to take my kids to school, have to work all day, have to go home, cook for my husband, then he complains about my food. So, I want more time so I can watch this film again, because it's really, really good. That's why it's my favorite. Be honest, be natural. English, or who can help you realize where maybe you shouldn't have talked about that in the past or something like that. Yeah.
Teacher, what do we need in IELTS listening test?
And natural.
Yes.
So if you're using an idiom every 2 seconds, that's not going to get you many. If anything, it might get you less points.
In case
Okay, so
instead of using idiom, we can use some collocation.
yeah, collocations, you can use some phrases that go together. That's fine. You don't need to use they're looking for how well you connect your words at the right time. Yeah. Okay, so that's why people who just throw idioms everywhere, playing basketball, and then they finish and they get a low, not the score they want. That's the reason why. Yeah. So you need to use that method. Just one or two. Yeah. So
That means I just clarify enough for my
clarify enough. Yeah, it doesn't have to be an affirmative answer. So, so if I ask you the same question, what's your favorite movie? And you don't have a favorite movie. What would you say?
Maybe in this case, I don't want to say anything about my favorite movie, or even I don't have any favorite movie.
If you don't want to say about your favorite movie, it's different.
If we don't have,
if you don't have a favorite
I don't
movie.
have any favorite movie.
If you say I don't want to tell you, then they're going to be like, oh.
Share some details with you. Then part 1 of the speaking test will begin with some pretty straightforward questions that you can think of as small talk.
Okay, so part 1 is just small talk. Like I said, like you have with your friends, small talk, right? What did you do at the weekend? How was your day? Oh, have you seen the new movie? Right? You want it natural, kind of sounding.
Do you live in an apartment or a house? Are you a student or do you work? Part 1 of IELTS speaking will always start with these questions. Then the questions will suddenly change direction and the examiner will say, let's talk about art, or let's talk about the rain, or let's talk about computers.
Okay, so immediately when they say something like that, you know the topic, you can start to think of what the questions might be. So try and think of like, what's your best art, or what kind of artwork do you like, Renaissance, etc. Rain, what do you think about the rain? When was the last time it rained? What do you do when it rains outside? How do you prepare when it's raining? Things like that. Or how often does it rain in your city? Okay? Is Hanoi a rainy city? Does it rain hard? Etc.
Or let's talk about any of these topics here. And then the examiner will ask you of these computers. Or let's talk about any of these topics here.
Okay, so these are the kinds of topics, these are the topics that you will get in the thing. So we've got birthdays, childhood, clothes, daily routine. They also use for it, like unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we have